Hey
Hey,
everyone, welcome
wow.
to Office
Hey.
Hours. I'm Jeff Blankenburg, and
Is Jeff on a beach?
hi everybody. Uh, I,
Are
I've
you on
no,
a
I've got
beach?
it.
Oh no.
That's what the wind is.
Oh
Is a problem.
no.
Oh, this is.
Can you guys hear me?
I don't
Yeah, you were coming
know if I'm
in
okay with
loud and
this.
clear. Now you're jumping a little bit. Is he jumping for you too, Scott?
A little bit, but actually, Ryan, oh no, yeah, you guys are doing just fine. There you go. Yeah,
Good,
just
good.
rub it in, buddy.
I'm
That's
glad to
fine.
hear it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad
Well,
I'm
no,
here. Yeah.
I'm actually here for work. So I'm here as part of an event called Project Voice X, which is a conference where a bunch of folks are getting together about sonic branding and voice enablement and all sorts of chatbot stuff. And it's been super cool. And I thought this audience would also appreciate this. The organizer gave me a very nice gift. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's
Oh,
He-Man
Ooh.
on a battle cat.
eh,
Clearly he gets
Battle
me.
Cat. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So here we are. It's time for some office hours, and I'm going to try and do this from the beach.
Sounds great.
So, how are things with you, Scott? We haven't seen you in a couple weeks. How are things good?
Good. We have been doing a tremendous amount of work on my house.
Oh,
And that sounds like, oh, that's amazing. No, it's not. Because it's, I mean, I was raised in the country, but like, it was not in a 125-year-old house.
sure.
So we've been doing a lot of stuff lately in the last few weeks. It's funny. It's amazing how close to the seasons you start to become when you have to do specific kinds of housework, because like the cold, just I can't build the fence now. Like that's not gonna that's gonna be springtime. Yeah. So,
Right.
but like the inside, yeah. I mean, we're just working on all kinds of stuff and just it's been work.
It's
You know.
yeah. That kind of work is always so nice once it's done, but while you're in it, you're just like, what did I do?
Oh, we had to. So I'm replacing a dishwasher. I've never replaced a dishwasher. Has anybody ever replaced? I've never replaced a dishwasher. So,
I have.
so have you? Oh well, okay.
Yeah.
Come on over
Yeah.
and hang out, and you can do my dishwasher for me. So the part of our house that the dishwasher resides in, it was put on the house later after it was built, like 10 years after it was built, and it was rolled down from a different part of town in 1908. And so like I'm pulling all this stuff out, and there's like boards and stuff in there from like the 1930s and the pipes that just don't go anywhere. So it's just it's like playing Sudoku for a house.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so down here in Phoenix, this is the season now where I get to actually go outside and do some work. So I'm pretty pumped about that, to start to be able to really work on stuff outside, which haven't been able to do for the last couple months unless I get done at like 8 in the morning. So work from like 6 to 8 a.m. fixing driveways and things like that. And then so now I get to actually think about starting a garden out there in the winter.
Garden. How can you? What are you going to grow? Okay,
Nice.
That's a lot of stuff. Phoenix seems like not the place for a garden.
It's not an ideal place for a garden, but you can actually have a garden. You just have to water it and then cover it and then protect it from the sun and 100 other things. But you can grow nice tomatoes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I bet tomatoes. Yeah, we're actually doing that same thing in our front yard. Our front yard is nothing but grass, and it's beautiful and huge, and we're both staring at it like this is a complete waste of space. What are we doing with it? Why do I have grass? I don't think grass is really important. So like we're gonna be putting up farm boxes. We're gonna be putting up growing boxes. But have you guys ever heard of something called Farm Bot?
Yes. Basically a big robot that will tend to your garden for you, right?
Yeah. So it's amazing. So I'm intending. There's a whole online. It's funny because there's a whole online developer community that I've been engaging with. I have to stop doing this. All I do is engage with developer communities. And you can it's all open source. Then you just, it's a big rectangle that you just place down over your box, and it does all of the weeding. It waters. It monitors your vegetables. It's amazing. And there's this whole developer community of people that are writing the software and writing the APIs and improving stuff. So we're going to be putting a couple of those up front. It's going to be it's I'm excited about it, but a little, hopefully I can hook it up to Alexa.
Cool.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to try and like figure out a way to write, I don't know, maybe like an API or maybe a custom skill that will allow it to interface with Alexa, so that we can add yet another whole system of a galaxy of hardware and software to Alexa. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
So
awesome.
I'm just ignoring Jeff entirely because I'm so angry at him because he's on a beach.
Alexa Weed the Garden sounds pretty awesome. Can you guys hear me?
Alexa,
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit on my side, but I live in the boonies.
The hotel Wi-Fi doesn't seem to want to cooperate, so I jumped onto my phone, and it doesn't seem like it's loving it either. But
you're coming in a little cleaner than you were before, at least for me. So I think we make this work.
All right. Well, one of the other things I wanted to talk about before we have any questions is our good friend TradeLast over on Twitch. I don't know if you guys heard this. He just found his way into Amazon. We just hired him.
Yes.
And so TradeLast is joining the team over here.
Cut out what?
His name's Steve Nelson. He's TradeLast on Twitch, and he just joined our larger team. He's not joining like me and Ryan directly, but he joined the larger Alexa team. Pretty excited for him. Yeah,
I'm super excited about that. TradeLast, welcome. You start on Monday. He just posted on Twitch. So definitely very, very, very excited. We'll have to meet up and have virtual coffee and chat about everything. But super excited, Steve.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, once he has access to the finest communications tool known to man, Chime, it'll be amazing.
Amazon Chime is fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about, Jeff.
It's so good. So good. Definitely having some audio issues, huh, Scott?
I actually like Chime. Chime's got a couple of really cool things that you can use in there. It's the UI that they've set up was kind of before their time, but with the being able to jump in with your muted, and I don't know, it's a cool chat platform. I guess I kind of like it. It's not bad. It's kind of like a workhorse. It's better. It's like way more stable than everything.
Sure, there are benefits to Chime, but I feel like overall, each of its features are better somewhere else. But as a combination, it certainly serves its purpose inside Amazon.
Yeah.
Daniel Martin on YouTube has a question.
All right.
I have an old skill which I can't update anymore. I'd love to dig into that. He says whenever he builds the model, it says successful for skill undefined. But then when he tests it, it's only the old endpoint and no new intents either. Well, the one question I'd have for you on this, Daniel, is are you trying to test your live endpoint or the testing endpoint, the development endpoint? Because those are different, and you want to make sure that you're pointing at the right one. So if you're on your developer account, you're using the testing tools, you'll be talking to the developer version of that. But this has the hints of you talking to your production version that has not been updated yet.
Yeah, the error message is really weird, though. That error message would make me want to submit something to the contact us and start digging into that, because it sounds like there might be something more serious going on, just based upon, like, I never like to see the word undefined in an error message.
Yeah,
it's usually not a good indicator.
Yeah.
And he said he is testing the development version. A Witter says he's seen that as well.
So, yeah, I would suggest screenshotting that error. It's always easier for our whole team to be able to understand what you're talking about when you have a screenshot. And the best way to do that, don't do the attach image thing in there. Don't do that. Just put it in a Google Drive, or a Dropbox or something, or an S3 or an S3 box, and send that to us, because we need to be able to see those. And the apply image thing to all of our write-in stuff is spotty. So depending on your region, depending on whatever's the internet thing is. So that's what I would suggest, is because the undefined thing bothers me as well, because that's not good. That's not supposed to happen. Is that what am I hearing? What is that beeping in the background?
I'm worried he's going to get run over by a truck backing up, and he's not going to notice it, is what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I lived in an apartment before I bought this house, and it was in downtown Bothell, and it was like so cool and super swank, and I was really overpaying for it, and I really shouldn't have. But it was like in the city, and it was right next to a cool restaurant. But you know what I heard at all times? That backing up beeping sound at all times. All times during the day, I heard beep, beep, beep from somewhere in the area, in the vicinity. And it got to the point where I was just kind of grinding. I had to like put earbuds in so I didn't hear it. I hear it now, and I'm just looking around, starting to twitch.
Right. So I showed it on camera, but I think it's this red crane that's digging. I think. But I'm not sold on that. But the view is nice, and actually there's a really cool pool right over there. This is not a terrible place to be today. If it makes you feel better, Scott, I am getting on a plane in like 2 hours though, so I'm leaving this place quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty beautiful.
I volunteered to do it from my pool too, but I didn't want to take away from Jeff's moment on the beach.
Yeah, so. I keep talking about like, hey, let's get like a global sync thing that everybody gets to go to London type thing. Like, let's do that.
Right.
And no biters. And I can't seem to get that up the chain.
Man, I would be there in a moment.
I know. I just did my DNA test. I did my 23andMe DNA test, and
nice.
I found out that among other things, I'm very related to the UK. I am 100% Northwestern European, and quite a bit of that comes from Scotland and England. So I've been trying to get to England for years, and I really want my company to pay for it. That would be great.
Yes. Well, you should try and find a way to join our team, because we go all over the place, man. One of the places I'm trying to get is my family, and my last name probably suggests this, have some heritage in Germany, and there actually is a town of Blankenburg, Germany, and it's right in like the Harz Mountains of Germany. There's a beautiful castle there, Blankenburg Castle. And I've got to imagine, like, I am the firstborn of my father, and he was the firstborn, and his dad was the firstborn. I've got to imagine if I just show up and show them my ID, they're going to be like, finally, we can give this castle to the guy that deserves it. That's how I feel like it would probably be.
Like, wow, hey. That would be, that would be my dream.
Right. Yeah. So I've been within 2 hours of it, but I haven't been able to get any closer. Do you guys remember when we had Gel Work asking about his Echo Auto and how it wasn't launching skills properly? I think this was last week. Can you guys hear me?
I was not here last week.
Yeah, you broke up for me, but I think you're referring to Gel Work.
Yeah, the Echo Auto issue that he was having.
Echo Auto problem? Is that what you're?
Yeah. So he diagnosed it. He was able to figure out that you guys can't hear me again.
Now Scott and Jeff are frozen for me.
Nice.
I can see Jeff.
Oh, now it's froze. He literally froze on that pane right there.
That's perfect.
That was perfect timing.
Oh, we're professionals. We are professionals.
We get paid to do this.
Yes.
Probably.
Man, my internet is just not surviving here.
Okay. Looks like.
All right, you're coming in clear right now, Jeff, for me.
All right, awesome. So I was just excited that Jellwork figured out that he had his Echo Auto set to the wrong language.
Yes.
And that seemed like good news that he was able to solve that.
With custom. What is the purpose of with custom user agent function? It is included in the Alexa hosted template, but why would I care to even use this versus just deleting that line? Well, you don't have to use any of it. You can use whatever you want, and you can delete whatever you want. I have no idea what custom user agent. Ryan, do you know what that one is? I think that doesn't that have to do with ticket sales or?
No, it's if you work with the SDK and you're at the bottom. I'm actually trying to pull this up right now because I have an example of this in my own code. I want to verify before I start babbling off something that is not accurate. So yes, so in the very bottom. So if you're using Node.js, it's when you do like the exports handler, you have the Alexa skill builders custom, and you build all that down to the Lambda function. You're chaining all your request handlers and request interceptors and so on. One of the examples you have is for with a custom user agent, and so you can specify what the user agent is in your response. My belief was that was there so that you could keep track of different versions of the Lambda that's responding. So you could set like you could keep incrementing the version. But I don't know if there's other use cases for that. That was just my understanding of what that's for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ryan,
I guess so. Then if you don't need it, then don't use it.
Right. Yeah. The custom user agent also allows you to provide indications.
I think Jeff was getting ready to say that I was dead on and 100% right. And,
pretty sure.
And so on.
Sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
But he broke up.
No, that's all right.
I'm
really struggling on the internet today. But my understanding of the custom user agent is that it allows you to indicate, much like you can do with a browser, right? You can modify the user agent in a browser to be able to indicate where you're coming from. And that's how oftentimes you know that someone's using Chrome or using Safari or whatever. And I think the same idea goes here. It's basically, user agent is just a string. And so it's a string that allows you to customize where you want your skill to look like it's coming from. And so that makes perfect sense for things like Lambda versions and stuff like that, which is what Ryan was describing, but you can really provide anything that you'd like. And the user agent data does show up as part of the request. I'm not sure you guys got any of that, but that's what I said.
I heard it. Yeah.
Okay.
Why is what I was asking. Well, why? I think you would probably, it's just if you need it. If you don't need it, you don't need it. If you need it, you need it. If we put everything in there, right? Like we got to jump. If you have, if we give you an API and, or if there's a selected Alexa intent that you need to use or something, it's in there. If you don't need it, take it out. If you do need it, or you need half of it, you can use half of it. That's pretty much it. That's, we just opened the toolbox for everybody. Quest, not sure if it's in CloudWatch.
Yeah, I think I was just looking that up, actually. I was trying to figure out where that comes from.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's a user agent string in the request.
I think it's the response, right? It's your skills response. So I've seen it in the test tab of the developer console. So as you're testing your skill, the user agent will show up there in the invocation response from your Lambda code. And so there you can I've used it there to just verify that I am actually, like, the code that I'm modifying in Lambda is actually the one being returned and that I'm looking at. So if you had multiple versions, that's where I've used it. So I think it's just a handy thing that It's just a key value pair with the key is user agent that you can use for whatever you want. It would show up in CloudWatch if you had a like response interceptor that was logging the responses to CloudWatch.
Sure.
But other than that, I'm not sure where else it's being used.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what I meant, is that like that comes into your Lambda that you can then use. And if you log it, it'll end up in CloudWatch. I have a request and a response interceptor that writes those requests and responses out to my logs every single time. And so I think because I had started doing that so long ago, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, of course I log every request and response. So yeah, that would be there. But that's actually custom code that I've written. It's not something that everybody does in this.
It's one of the very first things I do.
Yeah, it's invaluable to be able to go back later and see the whole request.
Yes, code.
Right. All right, guys. I think I have to disappear for 1 second. I'm gonna try and get a better connection. So I'm gonna step away for 1 second. I'll let you guys keep rolling.
All right. And I'm waiting for more questions to come in.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, hey, I'll sit here and talk about like robot farms for hours.
I have something exciting. Well, first of all, I have a new background. So I've like doubled down on the hexagon. So I have the hexagon lights. So now I doubled down on like the hexagon background.
It's very cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to step it up. I'm not quite Jeff levels yet. I have a ways to go before I get to that point. But I'm getting there. Gold Zulu asks, so I have 19 hexagon lights. And then I have no idea. So this is like a vinyl wallpaper type sticker thing that I put on the wall. Way too many hexagons now.
Oh, that's not like individual like little bricks that you've stuck on the wall that's just
no,
oh wow, it really comes out really well. The 3D effect is really good.
So these are lights, right?
Yeah.
And then this is just like a sticker that I got.
Holy crap. Yeah, no, that's good.
It's awesome.
The effect really comes across on the screen, so you can't tell at all that it's not like individual little actual hexagons that you've put up.
Yeah.
I also have been working on my background because now I have, as you can see, I've been playing with the light color changing in the background there. Working on my hue bridges and
oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm setting up. This is one of the things. The cool thing about smart home stuff is that while I do live in a 125-year-old house, it doesn't matter because everything I can take all these plugs out and replace them all with smart lights or smart plugs. I can put all of the light bulbs in the house and be smart, and all of my appliances are all smart stuff without actually having to change the house. I can actually remove wires now because I don't have to plug everything in. That to me is a big win. I feel like I can yank off all of the old cables and all of the old phone lines and take out all of the plugs from the walls that are like just have been there for 50 years, you know? Yeah. We're working on stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
Trying to get
how's
more
my signal?
Stuff.
Any better?
Oh, much better.
Much better.
Cool. I'm inside. I now have power running to my laptop. And I think the Wi-Fi signal in here is better. So you get a look at my kitchenette now. This is
I love what you've done with the kitchenette.
Very nice.
Ken Dar just asked an interesting question. People are saying they can't hear me. You guys can hear me though.
Yeah.
Ken Dar on Facebook says, if you tell Alexa to forget a Bluetooth device, can you undo that request and have Alexa rediscover that Bluetooth device again? I think the answer to that is no, because forgetting a device is explicitly saying, I don't want a relationship with that device anymore. Same way on your phone. If you have a Bluetooth connection to a set of headphones and you say, forget this connection, you now need to repair your phone with those headphones. It's not a disconnect. It's an actual forget. Those are different. Yeah. So you can disconnect from a device and that will disconnect and then allow you to reconnect in the future. But if you tell it to forget a connection, you'll need to completely repair that device.
But you should be able to. You should be able to put the device in discovery mode again and be able to have Alexa find it. Like like starting from scratch is how the experience
Yep.
should be.
Not a ton of questions today. This is an interesting
No.
Tuesday. Maybe we've answered them all.
Yeah, that's it. We've come to the end of all of the required knowledge, and all three of
All
us
of
have completely answered all of the questions, and there are no more questions.
So I have a question to
Brian,
the
what were you gonna say?
community. I have a question to the community. If anyone has any tips on taking care of a bearded dragon, send them my way on Slack or anywhere. So we found a bearded dragon in our yard this weekend, which bearded dragons should not be. I mean, they're used to the desert, but deserts of Australia, not deserts of Arizona. So
Interesting.
it was a pet that I guess someone let loose because I was able to just walk over to it and pick it up. And so now we've adopted a bearded dragon, and I'm learning how to take care of it. We got the heat lamps, got the aquarium, got a bunch of crickets. Like we're setting it up. But any feedback would be awesome there.
They're apparently very affectionate.
Yes, he's very nice. Like I've been holding him quite a bit. Like he was hungry. Like he was really skinny. But yeah, so
yeah.
Ooh,
they're apparently very.
This.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Bearded dragon fact. Is there not a bearded dragon fact on skill in Alexa? Did you not immediately enable a bearded dragon fact skill? Because there's got to be at least 100,000.
There is, and Trade Last just posted it to it, and I feel like an idiot now. So look at that, bearded dragon facts. Dang,
that's awesome.
Oh,
hey, actually, a side note, Ryan. I don't know if you knew this, but right out of college, Scott actually joined a circus as a fire breather, and that was his name, was the bearded dragon.
That's true.
So nice. It's cool. I did not know that. Yeah.
No, and you know why that's not true? Because right out of college, it took me like a decade to grow this beard. Do you have any idea the length of time and strength of will that it took for this beard to grow? Like I couldn't grow a beard to save my life through teenage. All those guys in high school that had like full beards, just wanted to punch them. It was just not fair. It's just Irish blood. I can't grow a beard. I don't know what so this is it. This is what's happening for like the rest of and my fiance has told me that if I ever shave it, she's leaving me.
So, well, I mean that's a good reason to keep it.
Yeah. It's a good reason to keep it.
Oxygen Box is asking a question that I have been trying to solve for maybe 4 years. Is there any follow-up from all the questions about Alexa hosted skills from last week? Is there a place to find answers to questions that have been tabled? This is something I so desperately want to do, and there are a bunch of internal conversations happening right now, Oxygen Box, about ways to potentially solve this. One mechanism so short answer to your question, no, there is not currently. But we are actively working on this. And so there are a few thoughts that I have on this process. I want to be really clear with everybody here. I'm not making any promises, but I'd like to share kind of what our thought process is. One solution is to just have like a simple page up on the website someplace that has a list of all the questions that were asked today or last week or whatever, with links to a resource or a short answer that kind of gives you a summary of what the answer to that thing might be, or a URL to take you to the place where you would learn more about it. But one of the other things that I really want to do is to add a chatbot built right into our Slack community that allows you to query on those kinds of things. So you can say, well, what were the questions from last office hours, and it'll just show you them, and then of course you can review those or go to a web page or something like that. Or in a perfect world, the chatbot would be able to answer your questions based on answers that we've written from previous office hours and stuff like that. So there are a lot of thoughts about how all this stuff will work and what tech we can get in place in what kind of reasonable time. But I will tell you that I am 100% actively pushing to solve this specific problem because I think it's really important. We've answered thousands of questions over the past 2-3 years, and I hate that there is not an archive of those answers other than to go back and watch the videos.
Like we could probably like
So I'm One of the things that I'm going to start working on is I'm going to start taking our office hours videos just as like a side project. I'm probably going to live stream it. I'm going to take our office hours videos and feed them through an AWS chain of services that include media convert to convert it to a different format, and then Amazon transcribe to pull out all the words, and then comprehend to understand what those words are, and then feed it into a search database. I'm thinking AWS Elasticsearch, although what is it called now? It's called something else, OpenSearch or something. And then the idea being, I'm going to create a skill that allows us to say, hey, Alexa, show me from office hours, Bearded Dragons, and it would go and search and find that and be able to pull that in. So I built a really quick proof of concept of this. Again, this is being able to search answers that we were wise enough to have the answers to during office hours, but the open questions, the things that we're not able to get to, and find follow-up for that, we don't have a good mechanism internally to do that. But we want to make this a really great resource that doesn't just live on for the hour that we're here live.
Yep. Totally agree. And I've seen prototypes of what Ryan is working on, and it's absolutely awesome.
I think
really looking forward to, and get it into a production state, right? Like demos are fun,
yes.
but we want to get this to a real usable state.
And my goal would be to open source it all. Oh, sorry. We have a real question. Awesome.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, no, I don't know that it's a question. I haven't even read it. Gavin says, I have some feedback. The issue we're currently experiencing regarding some devices not streaming audio. I contacted Amazon support and they were able to find an irregularity with the audio player failing to initialize on some devices.
Really?
They said they passed it on to the engineering partner. Awesome. So it sounds like Gavin providing his feedback probably through the Contact Us forum, although I have reached out to some folks as well. Sounds like they've identified a problem and are now working on solving it.
There should be a reward for that, right? Like there should be like bonus points or cred for
something
reporting that,
for getting actual feedback up to an engineering team. Yeah.
He liked that idea.
I mean, people always like scoff at handing out like tote bags and T-shirts and stuff, but honestly, like I don't think I've ever heard a complaint about getting free stuff.
Especially tech folks. I mean, like I put this T-shirt on. I think this is the first time I've worn this on camera, and I'm sure I will get a message somewhere like, "Hey Jeff, where can I get that shirt?"
We did it.
We need to make that kind of stuff available. Alex says, and the Alexa community, especially the APL developers, are invited to put their knowledge in form on blog posts on APL Ninja.
Yes.
So going back to the questions and the knowledge sharing, Alex has a mechanism. If you see something that's cool or want to share something you've learned about APL, reach out to Alexander Martin. You can find him on the Slack community or on APL Ninja, and maybe you can get a blog post put up there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I actually just checked out API Ninja. I'd never heard of it until I think here. Actually, I think we had talked about it on this program like a few weeks ago or something. So I went online and I went and checked it. It's really cool. Like surprisingly easy to jump right into and get lost in. Like it's kind of a neat service. I'm excited to see how far it gets to go. Like how things are going to start changing. As the technology begins to change and roll forward, because it's definitely not going anywhere. It's a really cool site.
Yeah, agreed. And it's all been stuff. It's just a pet project of his. It's amazing how much he's built.
Yeah.
TradeLast asked an interesting question, and I'm going to give the foundation of this because I don't think you guys know the answer to this. But as a Twitch broadcaster, so we're broadcasting on Twitch and LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. But this all started on Twitch, and we are what you consider an affiliate, maybe a partner. I haven't actually checked our status recently, but we're at least an affiliate, which allows you to have advertising revenue as part of your channel. So when the channel started to gain some traction and some success, we reached out to our legal and finance teams and said, hey, we have this revenue that's going to come from Twitch. What can we do with that? Where can we send it? And the only real options were to like set up a bank account and have it start depositing money into that bank account, which meant then it had to be put in someone's name, and none of us wanted that responsibility or the oversight that would come with it. So what we did instead is we just never set up any payments. And so while there is ad revenue being generated by this channel, you can't turn that off. We as the Alexa team don't actually collect any of that revenue, but Trelast makes a good point. It's probably making a few dollars. I don't know how many dollars it's making, but it's probably making a little bit of money. It would be very interesting to see how much that is. I'll have to dig into the analytics on the channel and see. I mean, if it's any reasonable amount of money, let's say $50, $100 a month, maybe we should talk with those teams again about what can we do with that money, and maybe use that as a prize or something for folks here on the channel. That would be pretty fun. Again, I'm not making any promises. I'm just thinking out loud, but that seems like it would be a pretty cool thing to do.
That would be cool. You could also use it to send us to London.
Also,
we're not that
I like
popular.
your laser focus. I like your laser focus. One year of us doing this would probably be enough to pay for one of our bags to go.
Yeah, a quarter of it. Yeah. Like,
Exactly.
to ship us via UPS.
Yes.
One of us. Yeah.
But I am in line with you, Scott. I think that's something that we need to consider in the future with 2022 and beyond. Is, there's nothing that stops us. I know, like Gold Zulu, if we're on the UK island in any way, Gold Zulu would come find us, and I would imagine some of the other folks that are in the UK probably would as well. So maybe we should do like a once a quarter, visit someplace. At least once COVID calms down a little bit. I think that would be pretty fun.
Yeah, this is something I actually thought would be really cool.
I think we owe it to the community.
Yeah, honestly, like so the tech industry hasn't quite figured out exactly what to do with developer advocate. And I actually just noticed that it says bearded dragon right here.
You just now noticed?
Yeah,
That's
I just
awesome.
now noticed that.
I love it.
So, so I thought like having cool events for that we could host just for the developer community, just to get together and do this basically with like workshops and stuff where we could all sit around and talk about APIs and how to build skills and stuff. And just where all of the developer advocacy teams, all the evangelist teams, we could all just kind of get in the room together and just talk would be cool. And even if we did it like in, Paramus, New Jersey, it doesn't have to be, is that New Jersey? I think it's in New Jersey. And like, it doesn't have to be, an exotic location. It can be just anywhere. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I think it would really help the developer community a lot. Alexa is so organic. Alexa, we rely on developers 100%. So like, it's so organic. We should be, I really want to like try to reach out more, to try to get more involved with people, just cause that's what I'm good at. It's real hard to work in the tech industry when you're a people person.
I agree.
They kind of don't know what to do with us. So
that's why I'm here at the beach.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Steve Ballmer dance.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. Like a quarterly, almost like live office hours. We'd need Gavin Watson and Gold Zulu to like bring their friends and kind of hype it up for us. But I think we could, if we could get a couple dozen people there, that would be amazing.
I would bring my t-shirt cannon. Ooh. I don't know if that helps. I don't know if that helps at all, but I would construct and bring a t-shirt cannon to shoot into the ground.
Oh, I thought you already had one.
No, they're not hard to build. I've had them in the past. It's really easy to build. I can do them. I can build those things in one day. No big deal.
Yeah, it's probably better to do it once you're there to build it than to try to get that on an airplane.
Yeah, good call. Yeah.
But if you could build it on site, that'd be amazing. What about an Alexa-controlled t-shirt cannon?
Ooh.
Like hook it to the top of an Echo Show 10, so whoever talks to it, it turns and aims at them, and then boom, fires.
Right at their face. Bam.
Right. Yeah, from 3 feet away.
Right. So 200 FPS.
Right.
No, that's what Astro's for, to go around the house and shoot t-shirts at people.
Did you guys ever see that popcorn launcher? This video went around the internet years ago, and I don't know whatever happened to it. This guy, there's somebody invented a little box, a little guy that would sit on your table and had a little cannon that would shoot one kernel of popped popcorn into your mouth accurately. All you had to do was say pop, and it would locate where you were, and it would go, and you just catch it in your mouth every time. They did videos on it, and they would sit in video in meetings and just sit there and get popcorn shot into their mouth.
Oh my God.
I don't know whatever happened to it. I don't like that's the most amazing thing ever. And it's like, guys,
there's a lot of technical hurdles there too. Like launching a popped popcorn kernel is fragile.
Yeah.
So to get that to fire out with just slow without just shredding is amazing.
Yeah. Well, and plus it came out before Alexa, I believe it came out. It might not have been, but it came out before Alexa was invented. So like the omnidirectional microphone technology was still very much in its infancy. So they had already engineered a way to try to get that solid room location of where each individual's voice was, so that it could line it up and then line it up with your mouth. It's just amazing. That's absolutely cool. Amazing.
You're not gonna believe this. Trey Last already has found the YouTube video of the thing.
Yeah, of course he has. Of course he has.
I do believe that. I do believe that.
I would also be down for modifying it to shoot mini marshmallows.
Yes, that would be a fantastic. That would be an excellent addition. Okay, 2012, September 21st, 2012. My goodness. See, this guy, whoever this person was, they need to work for us. They need to come here and be a data engineer here. That was amazing.
I need popcorn fired at my face.
Yes, agreed. Dynamics of
We're having a very lively discussion, but not a ton of questions.
Yeah, I know. Rapid Answer Tech is coming to Amazon. Voice activated popcorn launcher.
Jeff, where's your next trip after you get back from Florida?
My next trip is with you, man. AWS reInvent. That's my next trip. And I've never heard of this before, but somehow they are requiring that speakers have a backup.
This is new to me.
You are my backup.
I am your backup speaker at reInvent, which is terrifying because I'm not an equivalent to Jeff. But I will be guarding Jeff. I will be making sure that he has security with him. I think that he needs to drive to reInvent, not fly. Although driving's not safer, is it? No, you will be at reInvent, so it'll be fine.
I will, and I'll stay healthy. You can make sure that I'm not like crazy hungover or something. Not something I normally do anyway, but we'll figure this out. I think I'm just gonna not show up to a talk and see how you handle it.
Or this could be my time to shine. You know, I could maybe like poison you, and make you not show up. Not like murder, like just
straight to
upset
poison.
stomach. Yeah. Not that serious.
I could murder you in Las Vegas, and then I could
no. Yeah, not murder.
Not a serious poison.
Now I can't. Now he's gonna get sick, and the whole world is gonna think that it was me sabotaging him. Dang it! I'm Black Swan 2. Thanks, Auction Box.
Yeah,
this is Black Swan 2. No, but this will be fun. We'll get to hang out in Vegas together.
Have we talked about this? Do you gamble at all?
I gamble a little bit. I lose so quickly that it's not enjoyable for me. So
sure. Well, I'll introduce you to the world of craps, and we'll both walk away up $500, and it'll be awesome. So
says everybody.
Sounds great.
No. So legitimately, every time I take people to Vegas and I teach them craps, they win a lot of money. Ask Amit Jatwani, ask Kirsch Shrivastava, ask Cami Williams, ask Karthik Raghavati. Yeah, all of them I have pictures of them with me in Vegas where they're holding up like just a pile of chips in their hands from their first time on the craps table. So what I will ask of you is bring like if you can swing it, bring like $150, and we'll see what we can do.
I think I can manage that.
Okay.
I don't gamble.
All right, let's see this. You don't gamble at all? I don't really gamble much at all, except in Vegas. I'll make a point of going one night. We'll go play craps, and that'll be it. But like, you're not going to see me sitting in a slot machine or like constantly ducking into a casino. That's not my style. But I do enjoy throwing some dice once in a while.
I worked in the casino industry for a couple of years when I was younger. I worked door security, and then I worked in surveillance. And so like, I know how all the games work. So I'm like, this is
Sure.
real. It's not 70-30 all the time.
I view it as entertainment. So if I go saying I'm going to spend $150 on entertainment, and Jeff is promising me that it's going to be entertaining and not just severely depressing, then
yeah.
It'll
that's
be
how
fun.
I view it. Yeah.
All right. So S-Ray Seng on Twitch said, can you expand a little bit on Alexa Insights beta? When those emails from the in-house experts used to go out, it was a lot more helpful, even to the possible keywords to use and some intents to add to make the skill more usable. But now the Insights toolbar on the right of the dev console is permanently stuck on recommending APL and Alexa conversations. I don't know, because it's in beta, I don't have a lot of insight into specifically what's going on with that program. But I do know that a new batch of content and skills and recommendations has gone out recently. So it might just be, you called it permanently stuck. I think it's probably more of a temporarily stuck. But I think that they're probably just in a bit of flux right now. I don't know if Ryan, if Scott, if you have any insight into that, but that's my suspicion.
I don't.
Not at all. The Insights beta is relatively new. And to be honest, like it's been hard to dig into. I'm working on beta testing stuff right now.
Cool.
But I should look into that more.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you that aren't familiar with this, Alexa Skill Insights, the idea is it can look at your skills and say, hey, you know what, it looks like your skill would actually benefit from X or Y, or adding an APL interface or whatever. But what they're looking is across the analytics that we have for skills that are being successful, and what are the things that your skill potentially is missing that are in the similar category or type, and how can we best recommend the kinds of features that you should be adding to your skills. So I think that there's a lot of good opportunity in those things, and you should consider them. But there's also, I've gotten some from my own skills where for my Star Wars skill, it's a Star Wars data bank, right? You can just ask it about characters and planets and whatever. They gave me a recommendation for setting a daily reminder. And that felt like a weird thing to add for, like, I mean, when you care about knowing something about Star Wars, yeah, of course you should ask. But to like build a daily reminder into people's lives felt weird. Like, do they really want to ask my skill about a Star Wars thing every day? So, they're not always perfect matches, but I think that they're good recommendations. And honestly, if I was trying to build a much bigger user base, much more active user base, a daily reminder probably wouldn't hurt. I just feel like for what is basically a Star Wars encyclopedia, it felt like a weird thing to ask them to do every day.
Makes sense.
I know what this is. I've actually had a few cases now where people have written in and saying, hey, I got an insight telling me I should open up my language locales to, and then I did, and then some stuff happens. So okay. I think I know what this program is. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I'll look. I need to learn more about it before I can start talking about
it. Scott, I changed your name again.
Yeah.
So
Jeff has too much power.
And that song is now stuck in my head for the next 10 years. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. All right, I have I just got a reminder that I need to get ready for my flight. So that's on my mind. We have 10 minutes left, though. It sounds like Gold Zulu also does not gamble. Or at least he has a no gambling rule. But he says he gambles in his head, whatever that means. There was also a call for me to bring back my Chatsino. I think that needs to happen. I really enjoyed building that skill, and I never published it. I think I need to get back to that. That was a fun one.
What's Chatsino?
It was a skill that I was building live on stream for, probably like 4 months. But it was a voice-based casino. You could play slot machines and craps and video poker and all sorts of stuff, all with your voice. And so you would say, put, like, if you think about roulette, right? Put 4 coins on the 7. okay, now spin. And then it would say, oh, you got a 7, or you hit red, or whatever. And it would tell you whether or not you won. And it was also a chatbot, so people could play the game in the Twitch chat live as I was working on it, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that's fun.
So they could make bets and gamble and do all that stuff. And you earned credits in the chatbot. Every time you talked to the chatbot, you earned 1 coin. So it also was a way to incentivize people to participate in the conversation and talk and do whatever. But then you could gamble with those coins. Yeah, so I need to get back to that.
That's pretty cool, actually. It's a pretty good idea. You know, like we're trying to find, I think like there's still that kind of generalized kind of feel like we're all still trying to figure out like really cool things to do with Alexa, you know, like really fun, interesting stuff that will keep you going for hours and hours. To be honest, like Skyrim took up way too much of my mental time and play. I played Skyrim for too long on the computer anyway. And then we got the skill on Alexa and I'm like, well, okay, here we go again. So, but yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a fun idea, and I really tried to make it audio friendly. So like when you played the slot machine, I had a different tone for each of the shapes, right? There was lemons and cherries and oranges and bells and stuff like that. And so when the slot machine would roll, you'd hear the spinning, and then you hear ding, 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 and you knew immediately whether or not you won just if the noises matched. And then it would tell you like, oh, you didn't win, you got orange, lemon, cherry, or whatever. But then when you did win, like you'd hear those matching noises, and you'd be like, oh man, I know I just won, right? Because everything lined up. It was kind of fun. So I also, that was the first time I'd ever used, and Ryan, you'll probably cringe at this. I figured out that you can use emojis as variable names in your code. And so I used I would actually use the cherry emoji as the variable name for that specific object. It was awesome.
What that's horrible.
Let me see if I can find a link to that. It was awesome.
This idea is horrible.
Wow, I'm trying to wrap my brain around that.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find
it. Show you a picture on the app, or does it just say poop emoji, cherry emoji, banana emoji?
No, so I had to write a translation engine for that part.
Okay.
So that when it saw that shape, it knew what to say. But that was part of the object, though. So if I look at, here we go. So I have a code snippet right here. I'll show you. So where's the StreamYard tab? There we go. I'm posting this in the chats, but I'll also put it in the private chat so you guys can see it. I used it in a number of other places too, because those are object references that you're seeing in that table.
This is ridiculous.
But those shapes represent the reals themselves. So instead of me writing an array of all the objects that were in each of the reals of the slot machine, I just use the actual shapes.
Wow.
Pretty awesome. And then in the chatbot stuff, it shows up awesome, because then you actually see the emojis instead of me writing diamond, diamond, diamond. You get to see it actually shows up that way.
33 lines. I'm impressed. This is
well, those 33 lines are just to define the slot machine.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool.
That's pretty neat.
That is something.
I don't know that I would recommend anyone start using emojis regularly in their code, but I thought for that purpose it was kind of neat.
Yeah, please don't do that. Oh my God. You know how many cases I'm going to get people asking me how do I
want to see the unit test for this. I want to see the unit test.
They're all there. Back up.
Oh, they are?
Got unit tests. Yeah.
Nice.
Inside the Alexa chatbot, there's maybe not in that project. In one of the projects that I was building for this casino, there's an entire test module with all the tests, and includes all that stuff. Let me see if I can find that project. Because I've built several versions of this Chatsino. I'm not finding it quickly. But it's a fun idea to be able to basically play this whole casino experience right from your voice.
No, I like that use case a lot.
I mean, like you could use this as like a basis for any other kind of game that requires a randomization, like that would be similar to a slot machine. Like this would be something you could use as like a bonus game for a side project that you could connect an Alexa skill to. I'm a big fan of releasing releasing a product and releasing an Alexa skill to go along with it. So like this could be one of those fun little things that you could just tack in there it's a simple, it's a slot machine. So you could put your own symbols in there, and you could also change it up so that it would be like more like if it was a movie or a book or something, you could put rewards in there and stuff. That'd be neat. Yeah, that's really good. It's actually a really cool idea, and it's complex enough to offer enough ability to change it so that you could put it, put your stuff in there. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, the slot machine is the thing that I started with. It was the simplest concept. The more challenging one. So slots is easy. Video poker is pretty easy, moderately easy. The hard ones are craps and roulette, because there requires this amorphous time of betting. I want to put a bet here. I want to put a bet here. I want to put a bet here, and you have to basically just wait until the user wants to spin the wheel, and then you have to evaluate against all of the bets that they've made. Where with like video poker and slots, like it's just a one-time event. Spin the wheel, see what you got. You win or lose. And those introduced a lot more challenge for sure. But I've created all of the games so far. So craps, slots, video poker, blackjack. Blackjack's another hard one. And slots. And my intention is to also build a bunch of different kinds of slot machines, right? So one that has 3 reels that just have the fruit motif. There'll be another one maybe that has 5 reels that has a bunch of other nonsense on it. But once you've built the main engine, the rest of it's pretty easy.
Yeah. Fun.
Everybody loves free code. Somebody else has built the engine. That's even better.
Right. Well, so a long time ago, when Windows Phone came out, I built an app for Windows Phone called King Poker, and it was meant to emulate all of the video poker types of games that there are. Because on a video poker machine in Vegas, there's actually like 30 different variations of video poker. One that's Deuces Wild, one that's Jacks or Better. There's all sorts of different video poker games. And so I had already built the entire hand evaluation engine in C# a long time ago for this Windows Phone app. So when I decided to do it for Alexa, all I had to do was sit down and look at that C# and be like, oh, okay, I have the model here. I just need to write it in Node instead. And so I kind of rebuilt it all in Node. But having to rethink through all of that logic would have been a nightmare. But having all of that code at the ready, and I can just write it in a new language, that made it pretty easy to get over. All right, I think we're at the time, guys. I've got to pack up the suitcase and get to the airport.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it's probably not going to be easy traversing an airport right now. So good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Destin, Florida, which is like Fort Walton Beach. The airport, I think there's 4 gates, the whole airport. So it's not very big.
Wow.
So it should be pretty easy to get in and out of, I think.
Did you get out of the plane onto the tarmac?
I did.
Like, because I've done that. When I was flying to Philadelphia, there was a connecting flight that I took in Minneapolis, and I got out of the plane. It was like Indiana Jones. I got out of the plane onto the actual runway and got into another plane.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, I didn't know you still did that. I thought it was like 1925 and nobody told me.
No, there are definitely a lot of airports that still do that. The smallest airport I've ever been to is Augusta, Georgia. And it only has flights about every hour to Charlotte. That's it. That's all the airport does is flies flights to Charlotte. Yeah. And so I flew in, I had some meetings there, and I got off the plane. Of course, you just get off on the runway and you walk into the airport. But when I left, you walk in and there's a sign that says ticket gate. Well, this was probably 15 years ago. Ticket gate will open at this specific time. So you just wait around. And then this tiny little old lady comes up and she is at the desk where you get your tickets, they check your bags and stuff. And I showed her my ID. She printed out my ticket. I walk, and she goes, "Security will open in 30 minutes." And I was like, "Okay." And so I walked down. Literally, there's no one there. There's just a gate that's closed. And so 30 minutes later, this little lady just comes traipsing down the hallway. And she unlocks the gate, opens the thing, and then she starts running everybody's bags through the X-ray. And then we just all wait on the other side of the X-ray because we're just in like this atrium. And once she's run everybody's bags through the X-ray, she closes that gate, and then she opens the gate to the runway, and she lets us all out to the plane. She was the only employee at the entire airport. It was amazing. But the runway is shared by an Air Force base there. And the planes that they keep at this Air Force base are the ones that carry like 12 tanks at once. So you have the smallest, tiniest airplanes that go from Augusta, Georgia to Charlotte, taking off next to planes that look like they could swallow you whole. It was amazing.
Nice.
Anyway, that was a long story that took us beyond our time, but I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for your patience with my internet connectivity and my horrible view. I look forward to seeing you guys all next week.
Yeah.
Bring questions.
Yeah, bring your questions for next week, guys. We'll see you all soon. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.